Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It with Jaiden and Faith. What's going on?
Hello, party people. My note wasn't that good.
You guys, we have no voice today.
No voice.
No voices.
Trying to teach in a mask and then also like screaming because we're super excited and then like trying to project and then the rooms are sometimes like echoey. It's not a good combination.
Yeah, it's not great. So that's why we sound like this. But maybe it's a fun like podcasting ASMR kind of thing.
Oh.
I don't know. I made that up.
I love it. Podcast ASMR, YouTube ASMR. Hello.
Oh, hey YouTube. It is 10:16 in the morning. It's early.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. Don't know how this podcast is gonna go today. We are struggling.
It was the first week back to work. Jaiden and I have worked literally every day this week. So, we're just trying to get by. We're just trying to make it through. Once we get to like Saturday, like once Saturday's done,
yeah,
I think we're gonna feel like, okay, bless you. Okay.
That came quicker than I expected. Anybody on YouTube, I put my hands out because usually that's me like telling Faith I'm gonna sneeze.
I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my calendar over here.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I'm like, once I get to Saturday, we'll be okay.
But I literally just put my hands out and then I didn't even get to cover it. And
no, it was so fast.
So I promise I don't just like sneeze in people's faces. I do cover.
It's okay. We're social distancing anyway, so it's fine.
It was a surprise attack, but continue.
Yeah, anyway, I think once we get to like the end of the week and the first week's like over, because the first week is always way more hectic than the rest of the weeks,
Yeah, because we're all trying to get like situated.
Totally.
And obviously there's like a whole new protocol and the kids are trying to get situated. And also in Chatham, it's a new studio, so the kids don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot with it.
It's a whole new thing. But honestly, it's so much fun. Like, even though Faith and I are like, we're tired, like we're trying to get to the end of the week, it is so much fun.
I'm so glad to be back.
Oh my gosh. Like, I love kids. I think they're so darn cute.
I love kids.
I love kids.
I love all my students, even my big kids.
Even the big ones.
Even my seniors. Although, I will say, anyone is in my advanced jazz class on Mondays, if you're listening to me right now, I've taught every single one of those kids before. Every single one of them. I walk in, we're all in our squares. I'm like, hey, everybody. Like, I'm so excited. What's going on? They all look at me. Every single one of them just stare at me. I went, this is not going to work for an hour. I was like, I'm going to need you to open your mouth. I'm going to need you to speak to me because this is ridiculous.
I always explain it to the kids because
I was like, what?
No, like even my jazz on Tuesday, it's like all kids that I've taught before, guys. Like literally kids that I've known since they were like babies. And I walk in and I'm like, hey guys, like what's up? Like same as Faith. And then they're all like
just staring.
And I'm like, this is awkward. So then I always explain it this way. I'm like, hey, like whoever my student is, Faith, ask me a question. This is what it feels like when you guys don't answer. So Faith, ask me a question.
Jaiden, how are you today? Stop, except we can't see them awkwardly smiling because they have a mask on, which is also why I think they're not talking as like easily as they would before. I think it's the mask thing of like, I don't know. But I was just like, but like the kids in that class, Laura, Carson, like, I'm like, I need you to speak to me. I need you to talk to me. You talked to me 2 minutes ago in the hall. I need you to talk to me in here too. I love them all. But then after I said that, they like laughed and we were fine. But I was like, yeah, we got it. This is not going to work for an hour.
Yeah.
If we're just silent.
Always after I explain that little thing, they always just laugh. And I'm like, yeah, it's awkward, right? Yeah,
it's
like, just
awkward.
I'm like, use your voice. I'm like, even if I'm like, are you guys good? Don't be like, yes.
Be like yeah, totally.
Oh my God.
Even like,
I just need,
I was gonna say, even the first day I'll take a thumbs up. Like my kids yesterday, they thought I was kind of crazy, didn't really want to talk to me, just gave me a thumbs up. I was like, you know what? I'll take it.
I know, I'm always like, thumbs up if we're good, thumbs sideways if like we're iffy, kind of want to like do that again, thumbs down if you want to run out of the classroom.
Stop.
And then there's no thumbs down. There's no thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
I'm like, okay, well, that's good.
That's okay. Yesterday I said the words, I don't teach quitters. So that's a good first way to start the week. It was in a fine context and my class laughed. Don't worry, I wasn't being a drill sergeant or anything. Although, don't put it past me.
Don't put it past her. That's
I am a hard ass.
That's so funny. I don't teach quitters.
Who watches Friends? Hard ass and wuss. We could fight crime. Maybe and Monica. I love it. Anyway.
I do.
Wow. Jaiden.
What?
What was I say? Tell us.
Oh, you're like, okay. Literally, guys, I have two funny stories.
The first one is a doozy.
The first one, so you guys all know if you listen to our last podcast, Faith and I were going shopping, but don't worry, I'm getting my spending habits under control now.
Yeah, except Jaiden told me she bought something and I forgot that I was supposed to get mad at her. I was like, oh, that's great. And then I went, wait a second. No, you're not supposed to be buying anything else.
Okay, in my defense, it was regular like $190 and I got it for $50.
Yeah, that's really good.
You have to buy that. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? It's basically the universe being like, if you
take
see it, buy it. Yeah.
Totally.
So whatever. I'm not buying anything now. But we were in London, we were shopping, and then we went out like to go out and eat after because we were starving. So we went to Eastside Mario. Which great food.
Yes, underrated. I need to go there more.
Yes.
I need to go there more.
The server was great. The food was great.
Wait, what did I say? I said this is the Canadian Olive Garden.
Yes, it literally is the Canadian Olive Garden. You get bread, you get all you can eat super salad, you get like pasta, pizza, like whatever it is. It's like a little Italian cuisine. Definitely, if you're in the States, it's exactly like Olive Garden. I would say Olive Garden is like
Olive Garden's better.
Higher.
Olive Garden's better for sure, but it's the closest we are gonna get in Canada.
Yeah.
So like fast food Italian. It's not fast food. It's like a restaurant you go in and sit.
Like a chain.
It's not like authentic. Yes, chain is the word I'm looking for.
Yes. It's more just like we bought some noodles from the store. We have a really good sauce. We're just gonna cook it up in the back, you know? Totally. But it's great. Anyways.
But we love it.
So we literally were just finishing our meal. And then I was putting my food in the takeout thing. And then I spilled a meatball on the table because
I watched her lift up this giant bowl into this small box, and in my head I'm going, this isn't gonna end well. This is not gonna end well. And it only ended with a meatball and a couple noodles on the table, so I was like, you know what, that's not terrible.
Exactly because I tried to put it sideways so then it was on the diagonal so it had more space to come into. But whatever, I knew it was gonna spill. I was just being lazy. I didn't want to scrape it. And then I go to put my plate at the side of the table for like the server to come and grab it. And I didn't realize that my water was right next to it. So I'm pushing my plate so it doesn't fall off the table. But then I hit my water and it spilled all over the table. Not my way though. All towards Faith like a waterfall. And it just
right onto my pants.
Onto her pants.
Right onto my pants.
She was like, oh.
I was like, super great that we just went shopping and I can change if I have to. But then I was like laughing and like crying and I was like, oh my God, Jaiden, we can't take you anywhere.
I was laughing so hard. It was so funny. Like I was crying, laughing.
And we had just made a joke about something else too. So like we were already kind of laughing. And then this happens, then we were really laughing. And it was just like,
it was a hectic.
There was a lot going on.
And then Faith and I were like having some like just like a drink. We were having like little sangrias, and then the server comes up to me and is like, "Oh, she can't take you anywhere" or something like that. And I was like, "No, like I'm just clumsy."
And then he looked at us. He said, he looked at me. He said, "You're driving, right?" And I said, "Yes, I am the one driving home."
I'm like, "No, I'm just clumsy."
It was funny. And then there was this table of like college kids, like a couple across from us. And I was like, they are like, who are these freaking wackadoodles who are left? Like,
I'm like, I don't even care.
No, it was so fun. Oh, that was so funny.
And then my last funny story, I'm not sure if I told Faith this one yet.
Yes, you did.
I did? Okay, good.
Yeah, you did.
So the other day, I literally just went to 7-Eleven. I came home. I went into my bedroom. I was maybe in my room for 5 minutes. And then I had this like Mexican pop. They're called Torritos. If anybody wants to try them, you can get them get them at 7-Eleven. They are so good. And you need like a bottle opener to open it. It's not like a twist off. So I was like, oh, I got to go get a bottle opener from downstairs. So I go and I walk down my steps. And in my house, you leave out of my bedroom, there's like a hallway and then stairs, and then you turn left into the kitchen. And my mom was already sleeping, so I didn't want to turn the hallway light on because she sleeps with her door open. So that would have like maybe woke her up. So I just turn out of my bedroom, make a right down the hallway. I'm looking in my mom's room behind me, so not in front of me, as I'm walking down the stairs because I just wanted to see if she was up or whatever. So I'm walking, and then I approached the stairs, and I saw like a little bit of a glare at the top, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I go to turn into the kitchen, and I bump into someone, like my hand, because my hand was going to reach for the light, like around the corner to the right. So my hand goes up, and it touches someone. Like I feel like a bicep. And then I bump into someone, and then all I hear is, ooh. And guys, you think in moments like that, because in my brain I was like, intruder alert. You think you would like roundhouse that and like go ham, or you think you'd like run somewhere, right? Do you want to know what I did?
You just stood there.
I just slowly backed up and I screamed. It wasn't like a high-pitched scream. It was like, I'm gonna shit my pants scream. like literally the scream came from my gut. It was like, ah! And I just slowly backed up, and my eyes were so wide, and I was so freaking terrified. And then turns out it was my dad.
Of course it was John.
He turns on the light. He looks at me like with this weird face and is like, and starts like busting out laughing. And he goes, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you're scaring me. What do you mean? And then I started crying because I think like the initial shock, like
the adrenaline, it all just hit you at one time.
I was like, you really scared me. And then he's like, oh, now I feel bad. So then that glare that I was talking about was his glasses that were on top of his head. I'm beginning to realize. So funny. But I'm telling you guys, I like could not see a thing. He was like, how'd you not see me? I was at the end of the stairs. And I'm like, well, usually you would say like, hi, what's up? Like, hello. You don't just stand there and go,
he just laughs. Stop. That's amazing.
Like such a boy, but
no, that's amazing.
Guys, it was so funny. And then as I screamed, because it was like it sounded like I was getting shanked or something. My mom goes, like, rises from her sleep and goes, Jaiden! What? I'm like, what's going on? I was like, I'm dying. And then
wakes up her whole house.
Oh my God, I'm surprised my brother didn't wake up. I go, did you hear me scream the other day? He goes, no. And I'm like, well, if I die in this household, the only person that's
Jared's not coming to help.
Jared's not helping. Not at all. And I'm not helping myself because I'm backing up slowly and screaming. I'm going to get stabbed. Like,
also, you guys, speaking of Jaiden and having funny reactions in the dark, we were in the staff room yesterday at the Lakeshore studio, because that's where we teach, and it was me and our friend Kiana and Jaiden, and then our boss / fellow podcast listener Corey. What's up, Corey? And he was like, we were just like talking about how the night went because it's the first day of classes, and Corey like accidentally leaned back and hit the light switch, and I was just kind of chilling in my brain. I was like, oh, and just like waiting because I knew they were going to come back on. Kiana, like when the lights come back on, is like ready to touch her flashlight button, so she was like on it. Jaiden, her eyeballs, Corey literally turns lights on. I look at her. If you're on YouTube, you can see, but her eyeballs were like this. Like she was just so stiff and terrified. And I was just laughing. I was like, Jaiden.
And I also
it's screamed. Okay.
You were,
oh.
I was like, ah. Oh.
I was like, it's okay.
Guys, I'm really scared of the dark. Like, really scared of the dark. I'm trying to get better at it, which is why I walked down the hallway with the light off.
On. You were facing your fears.
I will never do it again. That's why. Because you can't see, and then you turn the corner and you get stabbed. So I'm never, ever not turning the light on again.
Okay, well, don't get kidnapped or anything, I guess, is all I can tell you.
How would I get kidnapped with the lights on? I mean,
you could at least see.
No, that's what I mean. Like,
oh.
I hate when it's dark because I can't.
Never mind.
See
my brain
anything.
was backwards.
No,
Ignore
I probably
that.
said it weird.
Also,
I need to have the light on to like visually
be able to see.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anyways.
Before I give my life updates, speaking of my backwards brain, I would like to issue an apology. Because last week when we talked about Envy, I was so confident and I was talking about Mindy Kaling's character in Inside Out. And I went, dummy, and it's not Envy. She's Disgust in Inside Out. But also,
I didn't realize either. I was just like, she's
cool. Green. She's green, you know? So in my mind, like, green is Envy and green is also Disgust. But we're going to talk about her eventually. So just leave her in the back of your mind. But this is my apology. I would also like to apologize for the spelling error on our Instagram post. Success had 1 C. It should have 2. I didn't pay close enough attention because I was too busy petting the dog that was next to me. And so
it was a creative choice.
It was a creative choice. But yeah.
Anyways, let's hear your life updates, Faith, because mine's just a wreck.
Life updates, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Life updates was, well, to continue on the path of Jaiden's life update, I think I might be allergic to our boss's cat. So I'm thinking it might just be in general cats, but only when I like touch them. So the thing is I'm going to talk about this later, but I stay at my boss's house on Monday night, so I don't have to drive to Chatham 2 days a week, or like back to back. And when the dogs are upstairs, Milo's nowhere to be found, which is fine. Cuddling the dogs, it's amazing. The dogs went outside. I was watching TV, and Milo came out, and I'm like, hi, buddy, like whatever. So he's sitting next to me, and I'm like, hi, like looking at, he's got a cute little like smushed face. He's so cute. And then I went, oh no. And then he like got right on, because he's a very cuddly cat. So he got right on me. I was like, oh goodness. So I was like petting him. And then I just went, okay, I'm not going to touch my eyes, because that's what happened last time. I like pet a cat, touched my eyes, and it like swelled up. So then I washed my hands and then whatever. And then I got to the studio later, and it was like this part above my eye was like a little bit swollen. So yeah, I just might be allergic to Milo, but I'm still going to stay there. So we're going to figure it out and just hope my eyeball doesn't swell up. And Jaiden would appear to be frozen. If we're watching the YouTube feed, you saw me tell that whole story and Jaiden not move. So we're just going to wait for her to come back, because there she goes. She's gone. Oh, she's back. Change of scenery.
Guys, this is the OG spot. You just never saw it. This is my laundry
room.
This is the good old dryer. I'm like hitting it like this. Good old dryer.
Good old dryer. Oh my God.
Lots of clothes everywhere. You're just diving deep into my laundry room right now.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, I was just telling them how I think I'm allergic to Milo, but I'm still going to stay there and just try to not touch the cat. So that's good news.
Guys, it's so hard because Milo's so cute.
He's so cuddly. But if other people are there, maybe he'll cuddle them and not me. You know?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
And then I guess my last big life update, I was going to make this my great, but then I looked at what my great was and I was like, no, I got to leave that. So I'll just do it as a life update. Hail to the victors, valiant Michigan football is coming back.
Oh,
big college football fan over here. We're a big Michigan house. Yeah, they weren't sure if they were going to have a 2020 season because of Corona. Obviously, all of that stuff. So they actually just announced yesterday that college football is coming back on October 24th. So we're going to get some late fall season games, which is so exciting. That's why I wore my Michigan shirt today. I can't wait. I love some college football. Big Michigan gal. Super excited about that in my calendar. Can't wait. Super excited.
For anybody who doesn't know, Faith's family is like die hard Michigan fans.
Yeah, we're a Michigan family.
It's amazing. Like they would always go to tailgates, all that fun stuff. So
yep, I know. We usually go to, because obviously we don't live in the States. We usually, and they're expensive. We try to go to one football game a year. Obviously this year that didn't happen, so that's kind of sad, but at least and even though they are playing, we still can't cross the border, so at least they're playing. We'll get to watch them on TV. But yeah, I'm super excited. Go Blue.
I'm so pumped for you. That's gonna be so much fun just to
Mm-hmm.
watch the games and get like that kind of tradition back in your family
Yeah.
to some degree.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Very
They
fun.
play on Saturdays usually. Their games are on Saturdays. So
Yeah.
I'm teaching, but I got the sports app on my phone, or not on my phone, my watch. So I get
Just
the
be
score.
checking it.
I get the score.
October is going to be a great month because isn't that when The Bachelor starts too?
The Bachelor starts October 13th or 14th, whatever that
13th.
Tuesday is. The Bachelor starts. Super excited about that. Dancing with the Stars started too. I started watching that with Candace and Lakin, but Lakin had school, so she went to bed, so we stopped watching it. So we're gonna have to finish that the next time I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So much TV to watch.
So much.
So much TV, so little time. But that's pretty much what's happening in my life and Jaiden's life,
fun.
which means, is it time? It's time.
It's time.
It's time to get yourself a tan suntan.
3Gs, party people. The good, the great, the gross. You know the drill. Faith and I are going to look over our crazy week, our good week, our bad week, whatever it may be, and try to find the good, try to find the great, and try to find the gross. Or maybe it's easy, but who knows? So, my gross this week is a little bit update on my eyeballs. A couple episodes back,
We're back to the eyeballs.
We're back to the eyeballs. Couple episodes back, I talked about my dry eyelids. Turns out I had eczema and an eye infection.
So just really two things you don't want in your eyes.
So a double whammy. And I had to go to the clinic and get medication, which thankfully wasn't $120 like my ringworm medication. So
yeah, that was not great.
That's a double thumbs up. It's just funny because I used to get eczema as a kid. I used to have it really bad on like my left cheek here, that it was starting to like turn a different color. It was really, really bad. Like it wasn't red. It was more like it looked like a sunburn, like brown, flaky.
Yeah.
And it was huge. It was like this whole side of my cheek, like literally pretty much the whole left side of my face. So I'm not surprised that I got it came back in a sense, because I've had it even when I was like a baby. I had eczema on my head. It's just funny that it came on like just my eyelids.
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
So I wonder if like a certain a certain thing that I was using, like I was talking about before, maybe it just like flared it up or something like it.
Triggered it.
Something like that. Yeah. But and then the eye infection just really came out of nowhere. So I don't know where that came from, but regardless, it's being handled with, so I'm good with that. I'm just confused, like why I keep getting these weird little infections. Like I had ringworm, never had that before. Yeah. I had like this eye infection eczema thing. What the hell is that? Like I'm usually always like relatively healthy, like never really get like weird, not that those are weird infections, but those are just like unfamiliar to me. I usually never get those kind of things. So I don't know, man.
I think I would rather get that though than have like a stomach flu or like.
That's true.
Something where like the inside of your body hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I would rather choose like an outside thing that I can
like an external.
Yeah.
That's so true.
If I had to choose how I was gonna feel crappy, I think I would choose dry eyelids.
Yeah, I'd rather have like a little eczema there
over like COVID.
And the medication worked right away. Like literally the next day, my eczema was gone.
Oh, that's good.
My eyes hurt like a little bit when I wake up, but I'm just gonna keep using the eye drops and call it a day. And then I do have a double gross this week, but it's okay. It's something that I saw Faith wrote down as well, so maybe we can both talk about it right now.
Yeah.
But maskne, like it's real, people. It's bad, and I'm sad, and I've done everything in my power to like avoid it and to fight these little suckers, but it's not working. So like someone send help. It's literally just like it's literally just like managing it, but it's not like making it go away.
My issue is that I'm wearing a mask 6 days a week. minimum. You know what I mean? Like if I go anywhere on a Sunday, it's going to be 7. And that's those 6 days a week. Fridays, I probably won't be as sweaty. Thursdays and Fridays, I probably won't be as sweaty as I usually am. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm doing like physical teaching in the sense of I'm like talking, I'm wearing a mask, I'm sweating, I'm dancing, I'm stretching, I'm going full out. And I'm a sweaty person to begin with. Like I'm not like a hiding kind of sweat. Like when I sweat, you see it on my face.
Yes, me too.
My hair is wet. Like my face gets red. Like you see the sweat on my face. And so obviously the mask is trapping it, which makes sense. And the thing is too, is like, I don't want to use disposable masks just because there's so many people already using them that I want to try and like cut down on my, my waste. So if I can do that with a cotton mask, I will. And I only wear them once and then I wash them. Like I have a bag for my dirty mask, a bag for my clean mask. But it's because the sweat's getting trapped. So like, I don't know if there's something I can like spray on my mask, like, or if that's not good either. Like if anyone knows anything, reach out.
That's kind of smart, like spraying something on your mask. Like I wonder if there was some sort of like facial mist that had salicylic acid in it, or like I don't know, some sort of like topical spray treatment that you could spray that would also.
Yeah, I like read something. Oh, bless you again.
Sorry guys, continue.
I read something, I don't know if it was like on Instagram or whatever, or Facebook maybe, but I read something that people like before they go to the gym, they like spray something in their mask. I don't remember what it was, but if anyone knows or if anyone has any like tips or suggestions, like please send them my way. I bought a new acne like specific cleanser and overnight mask that has helped a little. I can tell like on my forehead, I don't have as many like bumps as I used to, which is good, but it's especially down here.
It's like,
and then I will admit, I feel like around like my family, I don't care, and around like certain friends, but like when I go some places and take my mask off, like I'm not very self-conscious, but almost like I'm like, okay, wow, like my acne is very bad. And when you're around people that don't have it as like, and I don't have it terrible, like I know there's some people that have like cystic acne and like that's a whole other thing, like so I can only imagine how they feel. But like you do get a little self-conscious because you're like, wow, my skin is crap compared to these 4 people that don't have a single pimple on their face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely gets like a little discouraging.
Yeah, and like I wash my face every morning. I wash my face every night. Like I like there's just.
And guys, I know if you're watching YouTube, it might not look like, and I swear we're not like, I know for me, like I'm not just complaining, like I'm gonna be real up close and personal. Like it's bad.
Mine's here, this side. This isn't maskne, this is just like acne in general, but like so it's there. It's definitely there.
Yeah. It's a little frustrating, and like Faith said, if anybody has any tips, like let us know, especially.
And I take a Arbonne skin elixir almost every day. If not, it's like every other day. It's whenever I have a fizz, I throw that in there. So like that has collagen, biotin, like anything you'd get from like a hair, nail, and skin vitamin, that's in that. So like I'm really trying to stay on top of it. It's just I'm like, I don't know. It's the mask. It's 100% the mask.
It's the mask. It's the sweat. It's like I know for me, I'm only wearing makeup up to here because I don't want to look like
I don't even wear makeup. I've gone to that point where I don't even want to put it on because if anything, just mascara, no foundation, because I don't want to clog my pores. But I know for me, it probably has a little bit to do with my diet as well. I always eat a good breakfast. I need to like eat better at like lunch and all that stuff. Just get some more like leafy vegetables and all that stuff. It's hard because I still live at home. So like my parents buy my groceries and I'm going to ride that out until can't ride that out anymore.
Yes,
but,
you
like,
are.
Because my dad and my sister are picky, it's like almost a waste sometimes for my mom to just buy all of that. Because when you buy vegetables, it's either like a lot or like enough for one person.
Yeah.
So like she buys a lot, but then it goes to waste. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
just trying to balance that. But again, any tips? I also don't drink enough water. 100%. I know that's a problem. And I always forget what I'm teaching. And now that I have a mask on, I forget more because I don't want to have to pull the mask down, take a drink, put the mask back on. So it's just like really everything's adding up against me to help fix my skin. But we'll work on it.
I'm right there with you. We're We're going to figure it out. Let us know if you guys have any tips. Anybody who watches Skincare by Hiram, I've been watching him religiously trying to figure it out. He has like a whole video on like how to treat maskne. Mm-hmm. So I haven't watched that one yet, but I'm going to give it a watch.
Let me know.
Which, okay, YouTube kind of goes into my my good. So I wrote my good for this week was podcasts and YouTube, because I'm not going to lie, guys, I kind of had like a crappy week. Like just a lot is going on in my like personal life that it's just really difficult. You know, you have some bad weeks some days, or you know what I'm trying to say. So I've really been heavily like obviously like asking advice from my friends, like confiding in my friends about like how I'm feeling, whatever. But also have been diving into some podcasts and YouTube. And I've really been loving Emma Chamberlain's podcast. It's called Anything Goes. And she talks about like literally anything, which is why it's called Anything Goes, because she just wants to have conversations about whatever, whenever, doesn't matter. So she has like a bunch of podcasts about like just advice. So she'll have like her listeners write in questions that they need advice on, and then she'll answer them. And it's just really nice to hear advice from someone who's like relatively my age. I know she's a little bit younger than me, but it's just cool to like see her insight, because she's actually pretty like wise beyond her years. So I totally like want to applaud her for that. And she is just so entertaining. Like she can be serious if she needs to be. She can be quirky if she needs to be. She's funny. She's outgoing, or like sometimes she's quiet. And I just really love her like authenticity and her genuineness with who she is as a person. And it just really inspires me to like strive to be that as well. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know who Emma Chamberlain is. She's just the best. So definitely go check it out. She rocks.
We'll link it below. We'll link Emma Chamberlain's podcast and YouTube channel.
And then
it's Emma Chamberlain, you can just like YouTube her and find it, but we'll link it for you guys.
And it's like a more personal, like you get on a more personal level with her. So I think it's really cool rather than just seeing her like funny self on YouTube. Definitely go check it out. And then anybody who knows Brad Mondo, he is like a hairstylist / YouTuber. And I've been watching his videos about like America's Next Top Model. He like rates their makeovers and stuff like that. And it's just so funny.
Fun.
So like if you want a good laugh, like just go check him out. Like you will not be disappointed. He is so funny. And then since I've been just like yapping so much, I'm just going to get through to my great. I've been having a crappy week, but I've also been feeling really, really productive lately. So I'm proud of myself about that. Like I got my first oil change all by myself. And I know some of you I know some of you may be like, Jaiden, I've been doing that for years now. But I'm like, you know what? This is where I am. My dad is very much a person that's like, no, I'll do it. Yeah. Even if I try to take the initiative, he's like, no. They're going to try to sell you on something, or like, no, I want to do this. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I was like, no, John, sit down. I'm getting my oil changed. I need to know what to do. I'm 22. I need to figure it out. This is my car, not yours. So then I did that, and I've just been feeling, there's also been other things that I've been doing, and I've just been feeling really productive and organized this year. So I'm proud of myself about that, because usually I'm kind of all over the place. And I mean, I'm a little all over the place, but I'm kind of starting to reel it in and getting organized, and just feeling really good at that. So that's my great for this week.
Oh, fun. Good work, Jaiden. Great. I also have never gotten an oil change before by myself, mostly because my father's a mechanic, so he does it for me.
So that's a totally different story. I feel like that's a different little situation there. But honestly, enough of me talking. I feel like I've been yapping this whole episode.
No, you're good. We love hearing what you have to say. No, it's actually funny though, because I told my dad, I was like, my Jeep, like the sticker says I need an oil change, but the oil thing says I have like 48% left. And he goes, okay, he's like, when it gets down to like 20 is when you should get like the oil changed. And I was like, I'm telling you, because you're the one that changes my oil. And he was like, and just like said yes. But I was like, Kevin, if you think you're going to make me get an oil change, you can do it. It takes him 20 seconds. He can do it.
I do have to say though, guys, it was funny when I was getting it changed. They're like, "Can you like pop the hood open?" And I go, "I don't know how to do that." And they were like, "Oh, like since it's COVID, like I can't go in and help you, but like it's this thing right here." And I'm like trying to press it. I'm trying to press it, and he goes, "Oh, like it's a pull." And I'm like,
super.
"Oh."
See, what's nice about the Jeep is I literally just like there's like literally 2 clips right on the hood.
Yeah.
Open it and then lift it up.
See, in my little Caliber, you just have to go down to the left, like to the left of the brake, and then like pull a little latch.
Yeah.
And then open it. Didn't know that. The guy was literally looking at me like, "Who the hell is this chick?" Like,
that's amazing. You learn something new every day.
Oh my God. And then they just like, they kept asking me to press buttons, and I was like,
I don't know.
I don't know what you're asking me to do.
That's amazing.
But whatever.
Cool. Also, before I get into my 3Gs, just wanted to remind you guys, because we didn't say it earlier, we have a guest next week. Super exciting. You're going to love our guest. We love our guest. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, we have a guest. And we're not going to do an emotion series for the guest episode. It's going to be just like a general topic. We can't wait to share with you guys. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, I'm going to skip my gross because we already talked about it. It was the mask knee. My good for this week is just like friends and amazing bosses that live in the same town that you work in. So they let you sleep in their house instead of driving 40 minutes to Chatham, just to drive home 40 minutes and then back to Chatham the next day.
That was a long sentence.
Yeah. It's just like, it's literally like so small, but like, it's like I can sleep longer. I can like leave later. Like, it's really nice. So like, shout out to the Wilmores and shout out to Nicholas, because I really appreciate the couch or the bed or the floor or whatever you want to let me sleep on. The Wilmores let me sleep in a bed. Nicholas lets me sleep on a couch. But it's okay, because when Nick is rich and has a mansion, then I'm going to have my own room. So it's going to be fun.
I love that. So sweet. Definitely, we're so appreciative to our friends.
Yeah, and I know Jaiden's done it too, so she gets it. But it's something small, but I really, after like not having to leave as early, and like I got to like, my drive home was 15 minutes on Monday instead of 40, like it makes a huge difference. So
it really
shout out to them, and thank you guys so much for letting me stay. I appreciate it.
Woo, round of applause.
Yay. And then my great this week is I have a mini hip hop class on Monday nights. And you guys, I have 1 4-year-old, 4 or 5-year-olds, and a 6-year-old in there.
Oh my gosh.
These kids are the tiniest humans I've ever seen, but the cutest humans I've ever seen. Literally, like, it was 30 minutes. I had the best time ever. Like, they talked to me, which was great, because sometimes minis are scared, and we have a mask too, right? So like, that's great. And all we did was bounce for 30 minutes. Like, just different variations of bouncing. And it was so fun. We loved it. Their combo song was, I decided to throw it back. I used Aaron's Party by Aaron Carter. People all around the block, come get it. Everybody gonna sing along.
It's so good.
It was amazing. And we said, come get it. Every time Aaron Carter said, come get it. It was just, oh my God, it made me so happy. Like, sorry to anyone else I teach ever this year, because like, you will not be my favorite class. Like, unless you're in that mini hip hop class, like, I'm sorry, but they have the top spot for the rest of the season. Like,
as they should.
It was amazing. It was so funny. And I really didn't know what I was going to expect. You know, you never know what you're going to get with a class like that. And it was just, I walked out and Melissa was like, you're not ready. And she's like, they're so cute. And I saw them like lined up in the hall, and I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up. It was amazing.
Oh my,
I loved it. They're so cute.
I love seeing little tiny humans just trying to like bust a move.
Oh my God,
it's just so cute.
It's amazing. And I always say too, like, I love teaching like the teens and seniors, because I love being able to like stand there and like just use my voice, because they understand, so then I can like watch more. But like, man, that junior level minis are great, but if you're in that, like my Tuesdays of like tap 2, jazz 1, Shiketti 1, which is like, we're between the ages of 9 and 11, that's my sweet spot too. I like that too. Queen of the juniors, but it's fine.
Love it. Those are some great updates.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a good first week back. It's not done yet. By the time you guys listen to it, it will be done. Hopefully I've made it through. Hopefully I've survived. I'm excited. I knew it was going to be a long week, but it's so worth it. I love it so much. I'll take being tired because of this any day.
Any day.
Yeah.
All right, Faith. Well, what emotion are we talking about today?
Okay, so I already issued my apology, so that was fine. Moving on. This week we're going to look into an emotion that I didn't really know was classified as an emotion. And some people experience it more often than others, and that's shyness. Mm-hmm. When Jaiden and I were deciding what emotions we wanted to talk about, we kind of did a Google search of like the top emotions, and this one was on there, and I always thought it was more of like a state of being.
Like a feeling, not so much like,
well, because feelings are emotions, so like that's why I thought it was more like a state of mind almost.
I get feelings are emotions, but I mean more of like it just like a comes and goes kind of thing. Like it's so you know what I mean?
Yeah, but anyway, it's an emotion. So according to Psychology Today, shyness is a sense of awkwardness or apprehension that some people consistently feel when approaching or being approached by others. Shyness is a response to fear, and research suggests that although there is a neurobiology response to fear, not response to fear, there's a neurobiology of shyness. So that's the behavioral repertoire that's orchestrated or started by a specific circuit of neurons in the brain. Whoa, science. So basically you have these cells in your brain that are responsible for anything that happens in your nervous system. So you find these in your brain, your spinal cord, and your nerves all throughout your body. And basically these little guys, which are called neurons, send signals to each other to reach the brain. And that is where the shyness feeling comes from. But apparently it's also strongly influenced by parenting practices or experience. So your environment also shapes how you feel shyness, or how you don't feel it, or how you feel it more extreme than others. So
very interesting.
Let's talk about that.
So guys, our fizz and our feelings is when we're going to dive into this emotion of shyness today. So grab your fizz. Today I just have a strawberry Arbonne smoothie, I guess you could call it. But what are you drinking today, Faith?
Jaiden, it was 10 o'clock in the morning when we started this. I'm drinking coffee.
This is my breakfast. I have a busy day today, so I wanted to get it done early. And then we're just going to dive into shyness. Let's figure it out. When
Hair.
You know, like the seeds from like the strawberries.
Just kidding.
Just stuck in my mouth. But I actually have a lot to say about shyness, and I didn't even know it.
I'm glad you did, because I had not had a hard time, but my thoughts were just a little bit smaller. So
that's all good.
I'm glad you have a lot to say.
I pretty much just like picked apart like how I feel shyness. And I know that's like what we've been doing, but I really sat down and I was like, okay, when was a moment I felt shy? Yep. What did I feel in that moment? Oh, maybe it's because of this. Because I don't think I ever really solidified how shyness affected me and why.
Totally.
So this is like me explaining that in a nutshell.
Cool.
So I notice my shyness always kicks in whenever I'm around huge groups of people. So I find I'm a way better conversationalist in smaller groups rather than a big group setting. And since I'm very much a person that takes on other people's energies and can feel energy very easily, I find in big groups, there's too many different like energies bouncing around and things happening that my body doesn't know how to react. So I just start to like sink and like shrink into myself a little bit more. Yeah. And I become more introverted rather than my normal, like relatively extroverted self. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else feels this way. Like
Jaiden, it's very common. And I'm only saying that because I've listened to, again, that Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela, and 10 out of 10, you're blue, because blues constantly, they're another empath color. They take on other people's energies, and like they often shut down in large groups because it's so overwhelming that they can't process all of the emotions, and that's what makes them kind of like sink. So like you're not alone.
Yeah, well that makes me feel better.
That I know.
And also coinky dink. Who uses that word anymore?
I don't know, but we're going with it.
A coinky dink is blue is my favorite color. So that's kind of funny that
go blue.
I am blue. And I guess I wouldn't say I like shut down in big groups, but I do just become more like just introverted.
Yeah.
It's not shut down to the point where I'm like, I can't talk to anybody, da da da. It's just like, I don't know when to interject. I don't know like when to whatever. But I guess more generally speaking, I find shyness and comfort go hand in hand. So most of the time in moments of shyness, have you noticed that you were maybe feeling like a little bit uncomfortable or awkward, not knowing how to respond, how to react, overthinking your conversations, instead of just taking a breath, sitting into your own and relaxing into the situation? I know whenever I'm shy, I definitely notice I'm like, I feel a little bit awkward. I feel a little bit uncomfy. I'm overthinking how I need to respond. Don't know when to interject. So then I'm like, Jaiden, just chill, like sit, be a good listener, and just enjoy what's happening. So this makes me think that shyness is a trigger emotion, which I know all emotions are triggered by different things, but I find shyness is always triggered by the same specific things every single time, at least for me. And it's very specific. This emotion I'm talking about is very specific about who and what it wants to react to. Because if I go in my head, like I was saying when I was trying to decipher this emotion and figure out what it meant to me, I tried to go back to moments where I've been shy. And it's always around people who have a specific personality, and obviously similar personalities, because it's a specific personality within a person that I get shy around. And it's always been cohesive throughout anybody I've met.
Yeah.
It's also been in specific situations that, again, are similar no matter where. Like, it's not always with the same people or at the same place. It's just a similar situation no matter where I'm at. And then in specific moments of when I'm also feeling a combination of like sad or anxious. So it's like I'll start off a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit shy, and then I'll start to feel sad, or then I'll start to feel anxious, because then I start to overthink, like, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? And then I get frustrated with myself that I can't just like get comfy and be who I am. So I find it also gets tied in with other emotions as well. And I guess the best way to beat your shyness is to just push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I know we all know that quote, great things never come from comfort zones. And I'm totally understanding. I know it's the scariest thing in the world to stray away from what makes you comfortable, which would be like sitting in that shyness, just kind of laying back instead of relaxing into who you are authentically, because people are probably going to love you for who you are. And if they don't, then okay, so be it. Not everyone's going to love you as well. But if you don't show who you truly are, I don't think you'll ever really feel full. So just relax into who you are. Push yourself out of your comfort zone to do that, and just know a lot of people will reward you for that, and you'll feel so much better as well.
Totally.
And I know, like I said, in the moment it's kind of tricky to do that, and like just pushing yourself towards that growth is going to make you feel really, really good. And just maybe to do that is by initiating a conversation when in a big group, maybe being a better listener in a big group, so you know when to interject and you know when to put your thoughts out there. Or even just like I said, just being more present within the conversation. You'll feel so much better about the night or the situation when you leave, because you won't have to overthink, well, like, oh, I wish I said this, or oh, I wish I was a little bit more outgoing, or this and that. Like, you were present, you relaxed, you were true to who you were, and that's the best you can do. And half the time when you're feeling shy and you decide to push yourself to just be you, you'll start to realize, wow, why was I even feeling that way to begin with? Like, I was so in my head for no reason. Because it's really not that deep. Like, shyness likes to think, likes us to overthink situations to make it think it's like this huge thing, but it's really not that deep. So this emotion is one that you just really have to pep talk yourself, in order to deal with it successfully. And I do believe this emotion can be easily controlled, because you have the power and the choice of either sitting into that feeling of shyness or pushing yourself into finding that comfortability and just being you. And I'm not saying like sitting in that shyness is bad. Like if that's who you are and you just need to be shy for a moment, that's totally fine. But just know like that shyness doesn't define you. So try to like pep talk yourself and be like, why do I feel this way? What's going on? And then just be like, you know what? F it. I'm just going to show who I am. Because half the time, shyness is caused by overthinking and you being too hard on yourself and you like making the situation bigger than what it is. Like just be you. Yeah. People are going to like you, or people aren't going to like you. So
which is interesting though. It's interesting because if we think back to that definition, it's also influenced by experience. So if you were like coddled excessively by your parents as a kid and like they did everything for you, you never had to make an appointment, you never had to go do anything yourself, absolutely you're going to be an adult and you're not going to know how to do that, and that's going to be like, you're going to be shy. You know what I mean? So like that's almost like a mental note to myself of like, okay, like I don't want not that there's anything wrong with being shy, but I don't want my kids to grow up being nervous to speak or like do anything themselves, which is like empowering me when I do have kids to make sure that they have their own voice and they find their own voice at a younger age and they're comfortable using it.
Right.
Because I know everyone has their own voice, but the question is, are you comfortable using it in many situations? You know what I mean?
Right. And yeah, I honestly didn't even know that shyness was like an environmental thing, which then makes me think like, well, obviously that makes sense because whatever environment we're brought up in most of the time, and however we're being parented is usually how we are going to react to things when we're older. Again, like I said, not all the time, but most times.
Totally.
So yeah, it's just weird to think. And it same thing that Faith said, it empowers me to want to really make sure my kids use their own voice and have their own independency so they don't have to be so dependent on me for things or feel the need to sink into themselves in moments of uncomfortability. But yeah, so I guess just to sum it all up, if you asked me to like how to deal with shyness in 3 single steps, I would say be gracious and patient with yourself. It's okay to feel this way, but just know whenever or whatever your head is saying to you, it isn't true. Just relax, breathe, and be authentically you. You don't have to be like the person sitting next to you, but also don't hide who you are. Be yourself, whether that's fun and loud, quiet and witty, a party animal, a movie lover, whatever the case may be, just be you. If we were all the same, that'd be so freaking boring. 2, challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. And little successes are just as amazing and meaningful as big ones. That just means you sat there and you listened to the whole conversation, applaud yourself. If that means you sat there and interjected just once, applaud yourself. Like little successes are what's going to lead you to that big success. So don't be so hard on yourself either. And then 3, identify why you feel this way. Is it a person, like a certain personality? Is it a place? Is it a situation? Is it overthinking? Was it environmental? Whatever it is, the more you know, the better you'll be able to effectively deal with this emotion. And you got this. Just you got this. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You're doing it. And like, I know for me, sometimes I'm even shy around the people that I've known forever, and that's okay too. Again, it's definitely like a trigger emotion, and you'll just slowly start to teach yourself and learn how to deal with it in whatever way will best suit you. So just like, again, be patient, be gracious. You're not a terrible person for feeling shy. You're not whatever your head's telling you. You got this. You're awesome. Yay, emotion.
Good work, Jaiden. We're actually very similar. Like, I don't know if you looked at mine, but I did like 3 tips at the end.
Oh, cool.
So you're just stealing all of my ideas over there.
Didn't even know you did that. So love that.
I'm just kidding.
We're so similar.
Yeah, but I find for me, shyness is like an emotion that people are either like, yup, that's me, or they're like, never really heard of her, like not a thing. I find there's not really a middle, because I think you're either shy, whether that's at one situation, your whole life, whatever, or you're just like, F it, who cares? Which I know is kind of extreme, but I do think it's one or the other.
That's interesting, because if I were to identify myself, I wouldn't say I'm a shy person. But there's definitely moments where I'm like,
I'm the same, but I think if you, and I'm going to talk about that, but I really do think that like, I don't know, maybe saying there's no middle was like a bit harsh, but I really do think it's one of the emotions that like you're closer to one end than you are to the other sitting in the middle.
no, that makes sense. Like you're
You know what I
not
mean?
half and half. You're either
Yeah,
like
you're this or you're that.
Yeah.
It might not be extreme, but you're this or you're that.
Yeah, you're either like 80-20 or 20-80.
Yeah, for sure. So shyness isn't an emotion that I experience on a daily basis. However, there is one moment that is always reoccurring where I do feel shy, and luckily it's a moment that doesn't last forever, because it's only when I'm in an environment where I'm around new people and it's a new environment that I've never been before.
Mm-hmm.
But the caveat for me is that it has to be both together. So if I'm in a new environment with people I'm comfortable with, I'm fine. If I'm in an environment that I'm comfortable with, but there's new people around, I'm fine. I have to be in a new environment with new people. And that's when I start to feel, I like feel myself kind of like pull back. And I start to feel not like insecure, but a little bit more like reserved, because I don't want people to have like a negative first impression of me, because first impressions are really
very important.
First impressions are what you think of a person, for sure. But yeah, so I am very grateful to be as extroverted as I am, just because I know how I feel in that short moment of being like shy and pulling back. I can only imagine how people who experience this emotion feel like on a daily basis, as like a constant norm for them. Yeah, like I said, I don't have much to say because I just feel like don't often experience it. Like, and even in the moments where I do feel shy, I like warm up. And by the end of it, I'm back to like my regular self. It just takes me a moment to like get in there. I don't think I've ever really been in a situation where I like pulled back totally and just wasn't having it. It just takes me a few more minutes to warm up. But yeah, I think saying like, oh, don't be shy is obviously so much easier said than done. But I do think there's a couple things that you can keep in mind if you're someone that experiences this emotion on a regular basis. So the first thing I said was, honestly, just take a couple deep breaths before entering a situation that makes you shy. There's a lot of research that shows like literally deep breathing for 30 seconds, like lowers your blood pressure, slows your heart rate, kind of levels you out a little bit. So stop, focus on your inhale and exhale, hear what it sounds like when you breathe in, hear what it sounds like when you breathe out. And that could be something that's small but helps you cope with your emotion. Like Jaiden said, pinpoint exactly what it is in the situation that's making you feel shy and find a coping mechanism that works for you to match that situation. So for example, I said I start to revert back into like that pulled back version of myself and into my shell when I'm in a new environment with new people, because I don't want them to have a negative first impression of me. So I have to work on maintaining my self-confidence and bring that level of self-confidence into those situations. So maybe I'm going to do that by just wearing an outfit that I feel comfortable in. Maybe I'm going to do that by creating a topic of conversation that I'm comfortable about, like talking about. Or maybe I'm going to introduce just positive vibes into that area, compliment someone on what they're wearing, anything like that. Whatever it is for you, find the root of your emotion and explore different coping mechanisms to deal with these feelings, and just try your best to, work and overcome them as best as you can. Not going to happen overnight, but the only way it is going to happen is if we put one foot in front of the other and start coping.
And I think those are some really great methods. Like, you don't always have to be like, okay, like just talk, just say something, like it could even just be something you're wearing that makes you more comfortable, and then you feel more confident, like Faith was saying. And also, I just had like a little epiphany moment.
Yeah.
Don't make it like about you. Like, don't be like, oh my God, like I have to tell them all about me and like all about my experiences, because that could maybe make you shy and make you feel like, oh, they're gonna judge me for who I am.
Yeah.
Make it about the person you're talking with. Like, oh, hey, like Faith, like how old are you? Like, oh, what's your favorite color? Like, oh, like you work at the studio? Like, how long have you been working there for? Like, if you make it more about them and learning about them instead of talking about you, you'll feel so much more comfortable.
Yeah, ask questions. Ask questions. You don't have to sit there and tell them your whole life story. Ask questions for sure. And then my last one told you short and sweet today, is just take advantage of putting yourself into the situations that make you feel shy. Start on a small scale and build up your confidence from there. And then once you feel comfortable and less shy in that first tiny step, take another small step forward. Move into a new situation that's a bit larger scale than the first one, you know, and like do that till you feel confident, then take another step forward. Like the only way to come out on top or on the other side is to move through it. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, jump into that kiddie pool of shyness. And once we're comfortable in the kiddie pool, jump into the blow up pool. We're comfortable in the blow up pool, jump into the above ground pool. Then once you're comfortable there, jump into the shallow end of the in-ground pool, then jump into the deep end of the in-ground pool. Like you don't have to jump off a cliff right away. Like take it one step at a time, tiny steps. And if you have to go back, then go back a step. But like I said, the only way to get over it is to move through it. So you got to figure out how to do that, because tough love here, people. But if you're just going to be introverted and shy your whole life, totally fine. But it's just things are going to get harder.
Exactly.
Especially
it's going to get harder.
Into being into an adult. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but I am saying it's going to be harder. So develop those coping mechanisms now. So you have them, you can trust them, and you know that they're going to work when you get into those uncomfortable situations.
Exactly. And you're not going to be 100% comfortable when you're moving through it. You're going to feel uncomfortable some days. You're going to feel like uneasy, but that's all a part of it. You got to move through it. You got to push through it, and you got to know that like you're better than whatever you're feeling.
Okay, and that's when growth happens.
Exactly.
When you're not feeling comfortable. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, you did it right.
Exactly.
Like I tell my students
all the time. I feel like that's one of the greatest life lessons ever.
Yeah.
Is like you will grow through uncomfortability.
Totally.
Because everybody thinks it's being comfortable means you're set and you're good to go, but no. It's actually the opposite.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to touch on something you said earlier. My brother was walking in the room and talking to me as I was doing it. But you were talking about how at first you're a little bit shy and then you start to warm up.
Yeah.
Throughout the night. I think that's a really great thing for everybody to just remember. Like, don't walk into a situation and then think, oh my God, I'm shy. Like, I'm always going to feel this way. And then start to get anxious and then start to overthink and then be like, oh my God, I don't want to be around these people. Like, I just want to leave. Like, don't do that. Just like sit in the situation, like cope with it through those mechanisms that Faith and I were talking about. Just relax, deep breaths, be gracious with yourself, and slowly you will warm up. Maybe it won't happen the first time you hang out with whatever or whatever situation you're in. Maybe it won't happen the third, fifth, sixth time, whatever. Totally. I missed 4, but you know what I'm saying.
It's all good.
Just, you'll warm up. So
keep putting yourself in that situation. Yes. And just make sure you notice the difference too between you being shy and being uncomfortable that way in a situation and actually being in an uncomfortable situation. Like if you're in an actually uncomfortable situation, get the heck out of there. You don't need to stay. But if you're uncomfortable because you just are shy, then sit in that, take it baby steps at a time.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Exactly. I would say to decipher that is whenever I'm shy, I'm usually enjoying where I'm at, but I'm just like kind of chilling. Like not really saying much. But if I'm actually uncomfortable, I'm uneasy. I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here.
Totally.
Like, this is not good. So I feel like if you're similar to that feeling, like how I feel with that was really bad explaining, but try to decipher it that way. And
for sure.
Just use your gut feeling.
Totally.
Just use your gut feeling.
Wow.
Boom.
Thoughts.
Shyness.
That was tricky for me.
Yeah, I don't.
That was tricky for me. I'll be honest. Hopefully it helped.
Hopefully it helped.
Rambling. But maybe I was rambling. It's bound to happen in how many episodes have we done?
Oh my gosh.
This is episode 18, 19 technically. Like,
no, I think
bound to happen.
I think your thoughts were so concise and so straightforward and very well thought out.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Speaking of well thought out, it's time for the best part of the podcast.
Everybody knows this part.
Time where we find a quote that fits right into what we've talked about. We love a good quote, and sometimes we just need a good quote, a well thought out quote. Oh. So here we are to help make that happen. Without further ado, let's jump into our quote of the moment segment for this week. Woo! So again, my theme today is short and strong. Short and strong.
Let's hear it.
All right, so this is from BryceLewis.com. I found it on Pinterest, but that's the website associated with the quote. And it says, never assume that loud is strong and quiet is weak. Mm-hmm. Short and strong, like I said. I think sometimes we're in a room with someone who's just so naturally extroverted and loud and comfortable with being the center of attention, if you will. And we feel more comfortable just sinking back into that feeling of being invisible that you may have had, and we can let that shyness just take over. But this absolutely does not mean that the person being loud has everything figured out and is strong and put together all the time. More often than not, the loud, extroverted people that appear strong are the ones that are overcompensating for how they truly feel.
Boom.
And just because one person is staying quiet and running away from the attention, that doesn't mean that they're incapable of moving forward either, and just absolutely slaying anything life throws at them. Everyone is dealing with their own crap. Everyone is strong in their own way. Loud is strong. Quiet is strong. Shy is strong. Outgoing is strong. We're all strong. We're all just dealing with whatever life throws at us. So don't let that loud person, if you're the quiet person, don't let that loud person stop you from moving through that uncomfortability that we just talked about. Push through, people. You got it.
Exactly. Don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody has their own battles that they're dealing with. And it's not always what you see on the outside.
Totally.
That was a great quote.
Thanks.
You're so welcome. My quote is from Atticus. I think he's a poet. Okay, beautiful.
Love him.
He's a poet, and his quote that I picked up was, "Watch carefully the magic that occurs when you give a person just enough comfort to be themselves." I just think it's so cute. It's so cute. And I find, like I said earlier in my Fizz and Feelings, I find shyness and comfortability go hand in hand. If someone is comfortable in a situation, they will more likely be willing to open up and show themselves authentically. But sometimes when overwhelmed with others' personalities and judgments, people tend to hide who they truly are because they're just not comfortable enough to be loud with their personality, and they feel threatened by other people's perceptions and by other people's personalities. So if you're feeling a little shy in a specific situation, like we've been saying, ask yourself what's making you uncomfortable. Is it internal? Is it external? Can you control it? And after identifying these questions, just try to sit into your own and know that people will like you for you, whether that's a quiet personality or a loud personality. Your people will like you for you. So just own it and sit into whomever you are and watch the shift from shyness turn into you organically. Totally. And I think not only is that a shift within yourself, but also if I'm noticing, like if I just met Faith for the first time and I'm noticing she's a little bit shy, like not talking as much, kind of just sticking to her own, go up to that person and make them feel comfortable. Be like, hey, like, what's your name? Oh, like, I'm Faith. Well, nice to meet you. Like, how old are you? Like, what school did you go to? Like, make them feel comfortable and make that connection with them. And then you'll start to learn more about them, and then they'll be able to blossom as well. So I think not only is it the person who is shy that needs to do the work, but it's also the people in the situation as well. So just be mindful of that.
Totally. But you got to be careful, and you got to find that boundary, because there are some people that they're shy. They just need that person to come up to them and open them up. Like, that would be me. If I was sitting there in like a new environment, and then like someone came and started talking to me, no problem. But there's some people that are going to do that, and that could be so overwhelming for them, and they just might shut down even more. So if you're the outgoing person that's trying to, go up to someone and make them feel comfortable, like Jaiden said, and help them like be more comfortable in that situation, and you notice that it's like not working, recognize that, back off. That person, when they feel ready, will maybe approach you again and try again, but don't push that further than their boundary allows. You know what I mean?
Yes, just really be able to like be a mind reader and like read the situation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Amazing. Quote of the moment.
Good work.
Love it. We had so much to say today about shyness. I feel like every single time we always spend so much time on like our life updates and our like 3Gs, but I love it because Faith and I literally could talk about anything and everything. We sit here for hours and we could talk about like how to toast a bagel.
I could talk about how to tie a shoe with Jaiden for like 24 hours.
and we'll think about all these crazy
thing.
situations. Like literally, it's so much fun. So I'm happy that we're able to do it with you guys, and hopefully you're having the conversation with us. Like I know when I listen to podcasts, I'm like, yes, girl, or like, oh, okay, or I'm like, ha ha ha, like laughing with them. Yeah. So yeah, just I hope you're enjoying it with us, and just thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and living in your feels. I don't know where I was going.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that either, but I'm like, we're just going to let her write it out and see what happens. You
know what? Living in our feels. That's just what this whole season is about. So absolutely. Thank you for joining this ride. And as Faith said earlier, next week is going to be our first special guest of season 2.
Yay! Special guest.
Woo! So start betting on who you think will be on the pod next. I will say this episode we have prepared for you guys is going to be so beyond helpful and hopefully healing for a lot of our listeners. So turn the post notifications on, subscribe, comment, like, follow us on all social media platforms. And if you haven't already followed us, please follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk About It, Let's Talk with Jaiden and Faith. Facebook, Let's Talk About It Podcast. TikTok, Let's Talk About It Pod. And our YouTube channel, Let's Talk About It with Jaiden and Faith. And just like I said, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. Let us know how much you love us. Let us know your favorite episode so far about our In Our Feels segment, season, whatever this is. And before you close whatever app you listen to us on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Simplecast, whatever it is, please take a moment, like I said, and give us a 5-star rating and tell us how much you love this season.
Yes, we would love that.
So anyways, I'm just going to go because I don't even know what I'm saying, and this is really chaotic energy as an outro, but I love you guys.
Yes,
we love you guys.
Love you.
Rock on. We love you again. Black Lives Matter, and peace out.
Bye, guys. Wear your mask.